Right, we have €65 worth of steel here. All sorts, it's just offcuts that I got from the local metal shop. We've got solid bar, we've got round bar, we've got angle line, we've got box section, loads of offcuts of all flat bar and absolutely everything, right? Because I'm going to make something, I'm going to make a lot of stuff out of this. I'm going to make T-handlebars, I'm going to make some, well, you'll see there'll be lots of different things in the video, especially all for shaping metal in a vise, basically, so like little handheld T-bars and stuff like that. But what I am going to make with this, which I haven't seen anyone do yet, and there's maybe a good reason for it, I'm going to make a metal pipe anvil. Obviously they're made out of metal, but a pipe anvil that fits into a vise with parts that you can make anything for it. So you can basically section it. So in other words, you can put different attachments onto it. So I've got some things in my head where I can make this pipe anvil almost be a metal brake and roll metal and do all sorts of stuff. In my head I think it's going to work, but I'm not 100% sure. That's why we make it. But what we're also going to do, especially with this round bar and stuff, we're going to use some of these machines that I've never used. Go and check out, focus you bastard, go and check out the video on this bad boy. We're going to use this. We're going to be using my lathe, my milling machines and my lathes, not all of them, but some of them. I've had these for a few weeks now and I've never used them, and I'm itching to use them. They're all on wheels, so they're all not even set up properly. We're going to attempt to put that on my Myford and spin it and clean it up. This could go horribly wrong. Hello and welcome to another budget and Lego video. Right, stay tuned people, we've got a lot of serious stuff going on. I have been building lots of my tool collection up for doing some serious custom bodywork. You can see we've got anvils and stuff all over there. We've got bongos which we're going to be doing, making new body panels and everything, all by hand from scratch. We have surfacing tables here, you know, sanding machines, welding machines, milling machines, lathes, all sorts of stuff that is going to help me be able to make stuff and hopefully sell through YouTube. So custom made, I'm thinking gear knobs, tools, all sorts of stuff, right? Let me know what you think. But this is going to be one of the first builds that I do that I've basically got everything. And what I mean by that is, so now I've got my sander stander, which my daughter named, brilliant name. I've had this for a while, but I couldn't use it because it wasn't on a stand. So every time, you know, even just for the little things, when you cut some metal, you deburr it, you put a 45 degree on it to weld it nice. I've now got that. I've got my welder over there, which I've obviously had for a long time, where I built the cart for that. I've got a milling machine and a lathe, even though they're not set up properly, but I've got them. I can use them for certain things. This is really going to be one of the first builds that I can actually use the tools that I've got, and rather than just, it's the most annoying thing having a sander and knowing you need to sand something and not being able to use it. We got my saw over there, which I made fit on that thing that they use for cross cut. Can't think of the name now. Oh, motherfucker. Wow. What I gotta do is make some vice stands. But again, these will hold what I'm using for at the minute. So I need to make some standalone vice stands. I did buy 3 vices all at once. I got me a record number 75 steel. Apparently they're quite rare and hard to get hold of. Should be for the price of the fucking thing. Then I got me a record number 25. Then I also, all from the same guy, I got me a record imp. Now I'm from Lincoln. If you know what Lincoln is, I got it just because of the name. It's a record, focus you prick, record imp, and I quickly painted it the same colour as this. It's just handy to have a little vice on that if I quickly need to bend something or hold something. Handy little vice. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to work out how big I want my pipe. Oh, fucking camera, come on. How big I want my pipe anvil. I am going to be making a lot bigger version of this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this pipe anvil hopefully in such a way that it will fit on a vise. That's the whole idea of it. But then I can put all different attachments I've got in my head that are actually, you bolt on and bolt off. And not only can you do curved panels, you might hopefully even be able to do some kind of, you know, 90-degree bend of some sort, or certainly get it close enough where you can dolly the rest of it by hand. But not only that, even some weird shaped panels as well. I've got lots of good ideas, and the beauty thing of it is once it's made, it's very easy to make different attachments for it. Every pipe anvil I've seen so far, they're all welded together, and once they're welded, that's it. You can't swap them and change them around and do all sorts. Where I want to make this almost like a slip roller as well as a pipe anvil. I've never seen anyone do it before, and there's maybe a good reason for it. I don't know, but we're going to give it a go and we're going to see if it works. Look, if it doesn't work, it's still going to work as a pipe anvil. I'm maybe going to make it about a foot long, which is 12 inches. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be for a vise, and it's only going to be for the little panels. When you need to make big panels, you're going to use the bigger pipe anvil. This is just for little patch panels that is just quick and easy to quickly set up something. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to make first. Then I'm going to make my bigger pipe anvil later on. I've got even some square bar here. Again, like I said, I've got loads of ideas now. When I've thought about it, that might be too thin now for what I need, but we've got other stuff here, and I've just got an idea and I think it's going to work. This is going to be for my T-handles and stuff, and like I said, let me know what you think, because I'm going to be making a lot of tools that I think people might want, and I've got an idea of making custom gear knobs and tools and all sorts that I will hand make and possibly sell. I've seen other people do it, so why can't I do it? And I've seen some T-bars for sale online which are a redonkulous price. They're handmade and they're a stupid price. Well, I know I can come in at half the price and still make money. So we'll see. Let me know down below what you think. Just let me get a few things set up first, and then we'll start cutting and making some noise. I'm about to do some really sketchy shit here, so I'm going to film it in case it blows up, and then I might get more views on YouTube. Right, to let you know, this is a 3.5mm tube, which is 90mm in and around them measurements. It's 5mm thick, and I'm going to cut it 12 inches, which is a foot, which is roughly 305mm in and around there. But I don't really have a proper thing for holding round pipe, so this could go bad. Oh, I need to plug this fucking thing in. That might help. Okay, we're plugged in, but I'm really not happy with it.
Time to do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da, hope I get away with it. Oh, do-da-day.
Isn't that such a beautiful cut? It did it, and we're still alive. And this is going to be my pipe anvil, and I'm now maybe regretting cutting it quite short. This is going to be making some very small panels. Look, it'll have to be fine now. Fuck it anyway. Right, do you know what the really scary thing is about this? Is I shouldn't be allowed anywhere near these machines. I was figuring out, do I have enough room? This is the long bed Myford Super 7, so I know I've got enough room to stick this. And I was screwing this out, right? Like this. I was thinking to myself, let's put that in there. But it doesn't really, like, I can take it off. Anyway, it wasn't tight. Then I did an injector on this a few videos ago, and it was wobbling like crazy. Now, it didn't make a difference for that. But I was thinking, why is it doing that? And look, these are not these are not clamping together. So either they're in wrong, or they're not the right fingers for the chuck, or whatever they're called. I don't know. Anyway, not worried about that at the minute because I've got a different chuck. What did I do with it? This bad boy, right? Which I think should go down. But then I'm like, there's just not enough meat there to hold it. So I thought I'd be clever and turn them around, but they don't go in that way. Now I do have other fingers for this, and oh, look at the state of this. This needs cleaning. And I know that that's number three. Number three. And I know from watching some videos that there is different. Number one, and that's number two. There is different fingers to do internal and external, I believe. So obviously I've watched, you know, one YouTube video, so that makes me an expert, especially from, why isn't that going in now? Are they not on right? There we go. That obviously makes me an expert from, especially listen to my commenters, because they're all experts. See, that's not right either, look. I obviously didn't put that in at the right time. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? Right, number one, number three, number two. What the hell? Why is that one stuck? Do you have to put them in sequence or something? See, this is why I can't even put fucking fingers in a chuck, man. That's why I shouldn't be allowed anywhere near these. Alright, let me try and figure this out. Right! I finally got it, but I don't know if I've got the right fingers in me chucky thing. Oh, I don't know. The problem is, will that fit? Oh shit! It doesn't. Fuck! I was hoping that would go in and then chomp down together. Fucking hell. There's no way this will hold, is there? That's not strong enough. Is that strong enough? Is that how you're supposed to do it? Is that really going to hold it? Jeez, I tell you something, it might. Oh, I shouldn't be anywhere near it. If I put these back in, see that? There has to be ones that hold it on the inside, surely. All I'm doing is sanding this. So I'm not putting any pressure against it. I think I should be alright. I just honestly don't know. Now I know if I was putting pressure on it I would need the tailstock here and I would need something, but I haven't got anything big enough to hold that up. I was going to put something in there just in case it decides to fly off. But I don't think it will. But just because I don't think it will doesn't mean it fucking won't. Where's the plug for this? Dodgy as fuck, man. Oh, it's scary. It is, but it's wobbling a bit. But again, is that really going to make a difference for me at the minute? This is not fun. Oh shit, it's going to wrap up the wire. Why is that spinning? Fucking thing was spinning the wire around. Anything moving? Oh, I just don't know. Oh, this is dodgy as fuck. Right, I've got some sandpaper here from one of my finger sanders, and what I'm planning on doing is something like that. Do I have to put something on here to stop all that shit going down? Yeah, I think I do. It's gonna work! Dodgy as fuck, but it's gonna work! Right, bit of cardboard. Is that gonna be alright? Where the fuck's my sandpaper gone now? It's actually a lot heavier rust on it than what I thought. I mean, it's working. It's not working as fast as I thought it was. And this is 60 grade sandpaper. This is rough sandpaper. Yeah, I was hoping it would work better or quicker. Right, I've got some 100 now. So, see if that does anything different. Power had the little Myford, eh? Yeah, that seems to be better. Maybe it might help if I make this run faster as well. See all the crap that's come off it. How riveting is this, even with the voice crack? Where's that other sandpaper gone? I'd love to have a tail so I can just skim all that. I've just cut up one of these, which is my 2x72 inch grinder belts. It's 36 grit, so we'll see what this does. Because I don't need this, I mean absolutely, I mean that's good enough for what I need. It's going to go rusty because I can't paint it anyway, so I can only put some light protection on it. This is where it goes horribly wrong.
Time to do some sexy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah day.
That feels absolutely horrible. And to be fair, because it's wobbling so much, it's not actually doing any more. And I also think there is some sort of unwritten rule you don't grind on a very expensive, quite rare milling machine. Because I believe, I could be wrong, but these long beds are kind of hard to find because everyone that's got them doesn't want to sell them. But maybe I'm wrong. I think we'll just continue with the sandpaper. Right, There's light everywhere, so you're not going to be able to see it. But when you check out the video of this build, you will see, because everybody knows what's the most important thing before you start, you know, grinding metal or shaping it or anything on a sander. Well, the most important thing is you need LED lights everywhere. So you go, boom! You go, boom! Look at that! And then there's all special on both sides. I made special logos. I made my channel logo and the YouTube logo out of gearbox parts and timing chain parts. So go and check the video out if you want to see it. So yes, LED lights check. Now we can actually go sanding. I mean, that's the most important thing. Boom. Right, I've got these offcuts. Well, not offcuts. I actually got these from the place I got all my metal. They're offcuts because they'll always kind of come in useful. They have got holes in, but it's not the end of the world. This one's going to go in the vise, and this one's going to go like that, like a T. And I'll explain why in a minute. So I just want to round off the corners here, and yeah, just round off the corners. And I can now do it because I got my sander. I think I've got the wrong belt on it, but I'm just going to try it. I've got a more harsher belt. Where can I put you so you can see what's going on without that light kind of messing up things? I think that's okay. Turn it on. Yeah, that'll take forever. And the beauty thing about this bad boy is, oh, that light's making everything dark. Hold on. That's a bit better. Watch this. You go, boom! Take the belt off. Change it for another one. Take maybe the light out of the way. Well, actually, there's the light off. Yeah, it looks better off on the camera. Not in real life, but on the camera. But as long as it looks good on camera and I can't see what I'm doing, that's what YouTube's all about, isn't it? Oh yeah, easy away. Right, I need to avoid. It's just amazing how much more professional it looks with rounded corners. And now I've got this thing set up, it's just so easy to do it. There's adjustability everywhere. I can adjust this table. I've got 5 or 6 different attachments to go onto it to do all sorts of different things. And that's what just makes this thing so universal. I think a lot of knife makers use this. I think it's what it's originally designed for. I think, I'm not sure, but I know a lot of knife users like this type of sander. And I can see why, because you can just essentially do anything with it. So that's going to sit in the vise, essentially like that. And then I'm going to bring this piece and have it like that in a T. So I need to just round the 2 bottom edges of this. Then I'm going to need to sand these edges. Right, there we go. I've just taken off the mill scale of it just to make it a bit easier to weld. And I have done it on the wrong fucking part. because I'm welding this. What a tip. So I need to sand that down on that side. Yeah, and like even when I was making this stand for it, and it's like I needed the sander to make the stand. It's so frustrating. You're making something for something and you need that thing as you're making it. Let me just sand this, get all these ready for welding, and then I'll show you what we're doing next. Right, as always, we're going to be using my awesome Fronius Transsteel 2200 welder. Go and check out the video when I made this cart for it. And the thing what I love about this machine is because I weld all different types of metal, like, you know, 1mm, 2mm, you know, 3mm, 5mm, all that sort of stuff. When you're not used to a welder, and when you're not doing it every single day, and when you're flipping between a lot of thicknesses of metal, it's a nightmare to set up. If you have a weld and you're just doing 1mm and you set it up for life, that's fair enough. But this thing, watch how easy this is. Boom, 3.2. Let's go down to 1mm. 1mm, boom. 5mm, boom. 4.4. It's that easy. And it does everything for you. It's just fucking brilliant. So we're going to be using this to weld our things together. I'm going to have to do it on the floor because I've got no welding table still. Yeah, so we're still welding on the floor, unfortunately. But we're getting there slowly and surely. We're getting things sorted. I've still got my English wheel, my bead roller, in a box down there. We're going to get all this out. We're going to start doing everything. I've got to build my bead roller. I've got to build... Oh, sorry, English wheel and plenishing hammer there. My bead roller is that way. Yeah, anyway, lots of things to unpack and do. But let's get this welded first. I'm just going to eyeball all this because it really doesn't make that much of a difference if it's perfectly in line and level and all that sort of stuff. So we're just going to eyeball it to what looks like it's roughly in the middle and give it a tack and then weld it up. Fucking phone. See middle. Also, with that welder, I'm welding, as you can see, and I've shown on other videos, in an old mushroom house, and the electrics aren't exactly, you know, proper. The soft start on that machine, I'm welding on an extension lead as well, and I've shown that in other videos. It is just amazeballs what it can do. Now, that's a little bit of it further off than what I wanted. Need to tweak that a little bit. That's actually not bad. Need to tweak it that way. This is precise measurements, as you can see. Should we get a little bit technical? Not too technical, just a little bit. I don't want to go over the top, do we, and make out we really know what we're doing. Would you look at that? You see that? It's not bang on, but it's not. Considering it's just an eyeball, it really isn't far off. Needs to come this way a bit more. Needs to come this way a bit more. That felt like it did something. 2 parts. I'm being way too precise. Actually, that's practically bang on, but as soon as I put another tack on this side, it's going to bend the other way. Now it sounds a bit weird because it's on synergy mode compared to normal mode, but believe me, it's welding. Look at the penetration on it, and like I said, this is like 10mm steel. and it's maybe more, and I'm welding on an extension lead on a 13 amp plug. It's just, this welder is amazing. Right, we're not precisely in the middle, but that don't matter. Let me weld this out. Right people, I cannot weld, right? I'm used to welding car metal and all that sort of stuff. But just look at the weld when you cannot weld that you can get with this bad boy. Look at that. It is just amazing. And that's that side there. I left the hole. Anyway, I'm just going to weld maybe around that top there, and then let this cool down, and we'll get the pipe lined up. Right, so as I'm waiting for the piece to cool down that I've just welded, I need to make 2 end caps for this, and this is where my design comes in, different to everyone else's. Now I say my design, I haven't seen anyone do this, but I've thought I've designed and made millions of things in my time, and there's always someone that's done it before me, so I just haven't seen it, so that doesn't mean I'm the first to do it. I've just drawn 2 circles. I've done them slightly off center, so for them people with OCD are going to complain, which is great. I'm going to cut them out, and we're going to weld them to the end of the pipe, which is where this design is completely different to everyone else's, because normally there's nothing welded on the end of the pipes, but that's where I'm going to be able to put all my attachment pieces to. Because this is sticking off at the end of a vise, my idea is, it might be hard to explain, but I'm going to try. I'm going to have this sticking out the end of the vise rather than there, and the reason is because when you come to bend some metal, the vise can kind of be in the way. If it's here, you're not going to be able to bend like fully. So the fact that it's going to be at the side and out will allow me to put a really big bend in it. But the pieces that I'm going to have, because obviously this is just a round pipe, there's no way, if you're trying to bend round here and you just use 2 hands and bend it, that's all you can really do. But I want to use this more as maybe trying to make 90-degree bends and other things. So I'm going to weld the 2 ends together and put a nut in both of them, and then when I slide my connections to it, I can put them in the front and the back. So for example, if I have a connection here, I can hold some metal with that and I can bend it around just with 1 hand rather than using 2, and I can bend it round as much or as little as I want. But then you have another connection that comes to the front, and if you want to do say like a 90-degree bend or very close to it, I don't know if it's going to work yet. I think it's going to work good enough for you to be able to, you know, hammer and dolly it flat. But it just, yeah, so this is going to be like I said, like a metal brake and a pipe anvil, and you know, you'll be able to use it for a good few things. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll make more sense once I start doing more. So I'm just going to cut this out, going to use a grinder, cut as close to this line as possible, then I'm going to use my grinder, we're going to make them circle, we're going to drill a hole and put a nut on the far side, and then we can weld them together. And yes, I'm going to have to make my grinding mark go inside that circle because that's perfectly in line with that. But when I weld it, I want to have it set in a bit, so when I weld it, I can get some meat on both sides. If I put it there, I'll have to weld it here, then I'm losing a bit of things, so I don't want to do that. I want to try and weld right at the top. You'll see when I come to do it. Ah, I lined that up good, didn't I? I need this now. Hopefully it's the right size. show you. Oh, it might need a little bit more. Right, we need a little bit more, so I can only maybe cut through half of it. That might be it. I don't want to go too far. I suppose I can get away with the thickness of the pen. Yeah. Right. Let's see. Why you should never throw anything round away. Oh, that could be it. Could be it. Right, before my battery dies, I'm going to quickly explain what I did. So I got this cutting disc, the right diameter for this. I wanted it smaller so I could weld around it like that. So I kept cutting and cutting and cutting until the cutting disc was perfect. Then I drew around this and I put it on my sander and I got the perfect thing. So as you can see now, that's the yellow or the red mark I've got on there. I'm just going to go around on the sander until it meets that line. It's going to be exactly the same as that. And then boom, we've got our two end caps. Not going to show that because it's just literally sanding a circle. It's going to be boring to watch. When I get it done, we've got our two end caps. Boom, sorted. Right, I got my two circles done. I just stuck them together with a bit of double-sided sticky tape and I just made sure they're exactly both the same size. I'm going to drill a hole in the middle now. I'm not going to film that. I'm going to get my bar ready and we're going to weld them on. Right, the easiest way to find the centre of a circle, I've already done it, right? And I was like, I should really film that because some people might find it kind of interesting. So I've just got a stack of steel. It doesn't have to be, as long as it's below half the width of the circle you're doing. And it's very simple. Get your pen, whatever it is, and just mark it. And as you're marking it, spin the circle around. Hope you can see this. And as you're spinning the circle around, what you'll be left with at the end is a hole in the middle, and boom, that I did it a lot better on that one, you can see. But essentially, you'll find a hole in the middle, and then you just put your centre mark through it, and it's very simple. But of course, the one I did on camera didn't come out as good as that one, but you get the idea. So it's very, very simple. Find the centre of a circle. Now I'm just going to drill both of them at once, so we know we've got them both in it, but the holes both in the middle of both of them, and then we can get to everything else. Right, this is how I've done it. So I've got a threaded bar through there, and I just want to hold both the little circles in a straight line and more or less level as I can be. I only found, I had this threaded bar and I couldn't find another nut, so I just welded a washer on the end and I had one nut, and it was lucky enough it would allow me to do that. So all I'm going to do is, I'm going to do it off camera. I'm just going to weld all the way around here on both sides, grind it, well I might not, I don't know, we'll see. And then I'm going to weld this to the T-bar thing we made. Focus, you prick, down there. Okay, we're getting there. It's all welded up, quickly ground down. I didn't go mad on it. A few little spots where I had to stop and start because it's round. I didn't have one of them rotating table thingamajiggies. I've marked the middle of this. I'm going to mark the middle of that in a second when it cools down. And the other beauty thing about this is because it's adjustable. When you make a pipe anvil, and let's say you make it to accept 1.5mm steel, for example, right? Once you weld it together, you can't put any thicker steel in. Now, you struggle to bend more than 2mm anyway, but if you've got aluminium or something like that, you know, that's 2.5mm, you will be able to bend that by hand. But you've made your pipe anvil only 1.5mm, and if you make it 2.5mm and 3mm to accept other materials, when you put the 1mm in, it's a bit loose. This hopefully should stop all that. That's the plan. It should make all that not an issue. It's completely and utterly adjustable. Right, what I'm trying to figure out now is where to actually weld this, because the more I weld it to the back, the less room I've got. The more I weld, or to the front, the more I weld to the back, you can see, look, the more room I've got. So I'm thinking I'm literally just going to weld it to the back like that. that gives me a lot of droop.
That's what she said.
Under there. So maybe even if I come down a bit more, does that give me more? I think it does. So up here, I could catch that if I'm doing a really thingy. If I bring it down here, I've got that much more room. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to weld it to the back like that, I think. I'm still not 100% sure. I think fireball tools might not be big enough. No. Oh, you can't really see it either. There we go. Yeah, I think that's it. Because then, when you're bending, you've got a bit of room. So that can come down. Do I dish that out? Interesting. What I might have to do is maybe cut that out. Well, no, I won't really need, because I can bend this way. So what I'm thinking of is, the more I can bend the steel around. If I'm here, and I just want to bend it there, or if I'm here, I'm going to have a, I'll show you, but there's going to be a thing at the back that will allow me, oh, hold on, now then, that won't work that way. There's going to be one at the back that will allow me to put the metal in and push it down. But being that low, lucky I checked that, that won't work. I need the middle, yeah. So I actually need that higher. That is actually really lucky I checked that. I need that maybe like that. Thinking about it. Or maybe even right on the edge like that. That still gives me, if something is here, I can bend the metal. Yeah. Worst case scenario, I can always chop a bit of that off if I need to come down more, but I don't think I will. So I'm going to need that more towards the back, like that. Right. See? That's why you test fit things. So now I know where I need to work. I'm going to weld that off camera, and then we can make all the attachments. Right, just look at the fucking focus. Look at the weld. Now, I'm no welder. Proper welder's going to say it's shit, but considering someone who can't weld and gets a weld like that, it's spectacular. Should have cleaned it a bit better. I stopped and started there where I tacked it. It's a bit spluttery because of the gas I'm using, but that's just the way it is. Didn't particularly like the rust that was on here, but again, it's the way it is. I just put a little gusset there. Didn't need it, but I put it there. So this now, once it's cooled down, is basically ready for all the attachments to go on. Right, I was hoping to get more done. I've made a connection at the back. I haven't shown it making it, but I'll explain how I made it in a minute. But I'll show you how I'm going to make all the front connections. All this is, this holds the metal, so this is not always in use. It's completely adjustable. You can bring it in and out, and you can even remove it. But what this is going to do is allow you to bend metal or anything within reason around this particular shape. So in other words, I've got some steel here. We just shove it in like that, right, to whatever you want, and then just very simple like that. And obviously, if you didn't want such a big shape, you just bend it. You know, you can come here, pull it all the way down, and just keep bending it around. For example, you know, you can see what you can do instantly. Awesome, people! Right, I know I said I'm not going to do this, but I am. Move my bloody battery out of the way. I am going to see if I can try and cut this down here, just because, see what sort of finish we get. Now, you'll see my video from Yoda. First thing he said, we need to center drill stuff, so let's, got my center drill to go in there. That needs to be tight. Turn this on. Center drill. Oh, this is in the way. We're center drilling. It's pushing in the chuck. have the chuck tight enough. Need my chuck tighter. I think we're getting there. There we go. Now we need to put me my fucking battery's going dead. I'm just going to put me live center on now, then I'll get a new battery. I'm in a bit of issue because I can't, this is hitting the tailstock. This will not put a lot of pressure on it. It's just bouncing back, look. It's not. Oh, hold on, wait. What's that? Is that the one to stop it? Right, that's the one to stop it. Will that spin then? Hey! Right, my issue is now this is hitting. Oh, I can slide that out a bit maybe. Let me get some Allen keys. Allen keys, where are they? Right. Will that actually go in there? Should do. Now, turn it on. If I do that now? Hey! Working! I only want to take a little bit off. Oh, it's not even. Go in a bit more. That's maybe taking too much off, is it? It's not a very nice cut. Let me take off a little bit less, but let me put the old power feed on. I think I know how to do it. You push down this. There we go. Is that too slow or is that too fast? Or I actually don't know. It's going to touch now any second. There we go. Power feed, baby. I see now why people speed up the videos. This can take forever. I can speed up my power feed, can't I? I don't know how to though. Is it done by this or is it done by changing the belt here? We're power feeding, baby! Kind of want to stop it and see. What sort of finish we've got. See, it's not great, but to be fair, it's better. If I do that, will that? What is that doing in here? It's lifting the gear up. Is that lifting the gear up to make it go faster? Or is that lifting the gear up? Now, turn it on. What the fuck? It's not doing anything now. How is that possible? I took it. Oh, hold on, have I? The clutch wasn't engaged. What the fuck? I don't know. Let's just continue. It's working. I'm trying to go faster than this, surely. Got another gear here, but I've also got a belt here which can change speeds. Let's just try it because I don't know if we're getting anywhere with that. Right, is that faster? Oh yeah! But is that too fast? That's chatter. But we're working through it. Definitely faster. That's a nice speed now, that is. But I'm wondering, are we getting a better finish? Oh yeah. Yeah, we're getting a better finish. We're getting a better finish. But we're still a mile off. I'm going to come back. I'm going to take a tiny bit more of a cut. We're going to go. Oh no, that's chatter, baby. I know that sound isn't good. It's all about learning. I also think my insert's a bit fucked. If I'm being honest. Yeah, that's a terrible cut. I'm going to slow it down even more. Not as slow as it was, but slower. That's better. We're not really taking anything off now. Yeah, my insert's fucked. So that's not really helping shit, is it? I'm going to take off a complete skim with this one, and I'm going to change my insert. Right. That is a terrible finish. Like I said, I think I'm also the insert's fucked. Now, for what I actually need, this is most probably going to be okay. I just wanted to knock off the rust. And the other thing that's really not helping this situation is this mill is only bolted down by 2 little bolts, and not the right ones, bolted straight onto the bed. The drip tray is at my feet and it's on a pallet. So yeah, not the best as regards anything really. But I think for what I need, this is going to work out to be okay. I'm going to have to spin it around and do it on the other side, which I won't bore you with. It's not exactly what I was looking for in that sense, but it's good enough, I think, for what I need. We might just I can weld that. This is just for my special thing I'm making, so I only wanted to knock off the rust and to do a little bit of playing. So I've knocked off the rust and I've done a little bit of playing, a little bit more familiar with the machine now. I say a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. So yeah, I'm happy with that for what I need it for. Wouldn't be happy with that if it was for something important. Unreal, people. Love it.